What's going on, guys? What's going on? Welcome back to Tully Television. Today, Thursday night, Tully Television stream coming at you 22nd of April, 2021. At the time of this recording, I want to thank everyone for stopping by, watching, choosing me as one of your outlets of entertainment. I want to thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting, hitting all on that bell notification. I recently started displaying some of the shirts I have. Well, only one design do I personally have that I've been showing on the videos so far. I do have other designs as well. I'll be dropping the link in the descriptions down below of this video and future videos to take a look. No pressure. Uh, I just yesterday uh, made a shirt that's basically says "Beware of the Cactus 99." So and I just there's a little cactus on it. So if like I said, if you guys are interested in any other type of designs that you'd be interested in seeing, or any other products like face masks, coffee mugs, or anything like that, let me know. Um, I'd be willing to do that. But yeah, just thank you so much, guys. It means a lot to me. I want to thank Tim, my editor. I want to thank Mrs. Tully Television, Christina, aka Eternally Grateful Seas, for always being there with me too, through thick and thin. Um, Jordan for coming by and co-hosting when he can come by. I want to thank those guys too, because I wouldn't have been able to accomplish what I've been able to accomplish with this channel. I recently started talking to Jordan and Tim about, and Christy too, about doing perhaps their own videos, which I can upload onto this channel. Uh, I'm very up for having different hosts on the channel. So if anyone's interested in doing that, for experience, I'm not advertising a paid position of any sorts. So I just kind of want to make that clear. For confusion's sake, you know what I mean? I don't want to mislead anybody and make it as if it would be like for paid segments. But if you wanted to make a segment to be featured on Tully Television, I would present it, on the channel, but also with uh, credit going to the creator of the segment themselves. They also would get to share the segment themselves uh, on whatever other platform they would choose to as well. So it wouldn't be to exactly to that degree of like an iron fisted type of thing. But if you're interested in being part of uh, any type of spotlight on Tully Television, I'd be more than willing to contemplate that with Tim and Jordan. I already know that they have like ideas, and they kind of know the vibe of the channel that we've been achieving and going for. So I know that that their videos are going to be really top notch to that degree as far as content and ideas are concerned. Uh, Chrissy has a lot of great ideas about like her Wonder Woman stuff. She loves her Wonder Woman collection. I would really like to hear more of her thoughts about Wonder Woman. And for anyone else out there that has a really special connection to a character like that, like how Chrissy does. I always had a special affinity for a lot of different characters, and if I notice, a lot of them are kind of like street level type of characters, like Punisher, Batman, Moon Knight, Daredevil, characters that can uh, like sometimes these cosmic events people forget, uh, like the everyday guy, and yes, um, space invasions affect the little guy too. I just like stories about um, you know, street level people. But I wanted to get into some of the ideas and thoughts I've been having this last week with certain things that came out. There was a Shang-Chi trailer, and if I'm mispronouncing his name, sorry. But the trailer came out, and for all intents and purposes, it looks pretty good. It looks uh, like they're aiming for a kung fu style movie, and I know that's kind of dumb to say that they're going for that because it would be an obvious thing to go for in this movie. When you call it when he's known as the master of kung fu, um, but it looks better than I was anticipating it to be. Does that make sense? I actually got kind of hyped to want to see the movie because I do like martial arts movies like Enter the Dragon, the Ip Man series. Um, movies like that. That you know, martial art movies. I like martial art movies, and this looks like it could be a really decent martial arts movie. And the things I'm really looking forward to in this movie that I believe to be confirmed for the movie, but could be mistaken type of thing, and be wishful thinking in my mind of theories for movies. There's this character, Fing Fang Foom, which is basically a dragon. So, for all the talk in Iron Fist show about, oh, I defeated a dragon, I defeated a dragon, and we never got the fucking payoff of him fighting the dragon, and it was really frustrating because all season long of Iron Fist, and the show is better than a lot of people give credit for, but the one major thing I had fault with was you mentioned about fighting a dragon about 6 different times throughout the show, and you never got to see him fighting the dragon, and that was kind of frustrating about that series. But as far as the Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, it seems as if they're changing his history a little bit to the real Mandarin being his father, because we know in the MCU, the Mandarin was portrayed initially by Ben Kingsley character Trevor. My name is Trevor. Uh, that he was an actor paid to play the Mandarin, and then near the end of that movie, we see the main villain before he blows up from the extremis virus or whatever you want to call it, claimed to be the Mandarin, and he blows up. Not that blows up, but gets knocked out and killed by Pepper, I think. And then there's a Marvel short movie explaining that the real Mandarin is still out there somewhere, and that's leading into this movie a bit, obviously. Um, I really think that we're going to see that the Legend of the Ten Rings, which they're making into bracelets and not rings, actual rings. It's going to be like bracelets that go up your arm. So that's the ring uh, Symbolism, symbology. What is the symbology? Um, oh god, so silly. Um, I really hope. I know not many people are like really pumped for these Phase Four movies because Captain America's not around anymore. Uh, Iron Man's not around anymore. I mean, as far as Captain America, meaning Steve Rogers, isn't around anymore. And Thor, I think he's got Thor 4 coming out. And I think he's kind of willing to do a Thor 5. I think that he's the one that's really willing to linger around the MCU because I think he really kind of knows that this might be his bread and butter role because he fits it so well. Um, I like the progression of the character. Um, and I can't wait for Thor 4 to come out because I can't wait to see him and Star Lord interact with each other. But back to Shang-Chi. Um, I think we're gonna have a lot of like uh, obviously father and son tension throughout the movie. Shang-Chi's been away from his father for 10 years, living the life of an ordinary person, and the father is calling him back to compete in some sort of Mortal Kombat style tournament, um, possibly to win the prize of the 10 rings or some sort of high ranking position or just bundles of money or something like that. But I would really don't think that he would call his son back after 10 years just to try to win some money, especially when you're international criminal crime lord. You can just, you know, set him up with an offshore account and just keep dumping millions of dollars into that and give him access to it. He doesn't even have to realize it. He just needs to know that he can swipe the card, and get anything that he's in the mood for. Oh, I'm in Greece and I need the hotel room. Okay, let's just go. And it doesn't matter. It's 100,000 hotel room a night. The swipe is going to go through. That's the type of lifestyle that he would be able to live if he chose to live that lifestyle. Or like, oh, I just want to randomly go to a Louis Vuitton store and spend $50,000 on a summer wardrobe. He would be again be able to have that type of freedom to be able to do that. And but we see him kind of living like a common man life uh, with friends, and I think one of the people is his sister. But either way, he's made a life for himself, and he's being called back to be a part of this tournament. That's why I'm assuming it's for either the 10 rings or some sort of high ranking position in the uh, crime syndicate that he's built up over the last thousands of years. Um, I don't think that the Mandarin is the power broker. Um, the power broker seems like he's trying to achieve power where the Mandarin has power. You know what I mean? He's been alive for thousands of years, or at least close to 1,000 years, and being kept alive because of the power ring technology and magic that's involved and imbued into the objects. So that's why he's been able to live so long. And Shang-Chi's father in the comic books was comic books were really bad sometimes when it came to certain things, just like any other medium when it comes to racial things. And um, Shang-Chi's father was called Fu Manchu in the comic books, and that was kind of like, I would assume that you know, I'm sure people of that history would have rather a different name. I don't know. I'm just wondering that myself. Um, but yeah, so I'm really excited over the trailer, over what I've seen. Some of the action scenes look really well. Some of the graphics look really well, and it should. I think not comics, but movies that are coming out that I've been waiting to come out should look really freaking great because they've been waiting around and you can polish off these effects. You have time to at this point. So I'm going to be keeping up on that movie when it comes out and any more trailers that come out. Uh, Before I move on to the next thing I want to talk about, the last thing I want to talk about the trailer is my favorite part of the trailer is when he's on the bus, he jumps up and does a double kick, like a split kick, and then lands and punches both of them, and it happens so quick. And then he kind of just like, oh, I just did that. um, I thought that was pretty slick move. Um, Next thing I want to talk about is the Loki show that's going to be coming up. Now, tomorrow night, which would be April 23rd, would be the last episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm going to give my quick thoughts on that. I'm waiting for Tim to do uh, episodes 4 and 5 review that I did. And then at the moment, Jordan and I are planning to do the finale review on Sunday, Film It Sunday, that's coming up. And give that to Tim and wait for that to get done when he has the time. But yeah, the Loki show um, stars Owen Wilson. Sorry, I had to get my thoughts there together. The Loki show stars Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston as Loki, of course. But this is the Loki that grabs the Tesseract in Endgame and disappears with it. And we see like basically the time police um, finding him and has to now try to restore the timeline that he created by doing that. And this is going to be the first Marvel show that's confirmed for 2 seasons. And if you're watching this as Tully Television, yes, I am drinking your water. I'm sorry. I'll buy you another one tomorrow. Um, yeah, so it's the first show confirmed for 2 seasons. And it's going to be really good to see how this works out because I'd like to see him interact with the uh, main world Thor from the MCU. Because Thor has seen him die by Thanos' hand. He's seen him redeem himself and consider himself an Odinson along with Thor. And this Loki has never gone through that character arc. He's still that Loki that just tried to take over New York. And so it's going to be fun to see him go through another arc and see if it's going to be the same Loki we know or a Loki that's worse. And we're also going to be able to get to see different forms of Loki, like female Loki, kid Loki, the Loki that ran for president. I think is going to be another Loki that he runs into. So I'm pretty excited about this show. I'm really interested in seeing what type of Easter eggs and references they're going to make with this and how it's going to fit into the Doctor Strange movie and now connects with Scarlet Witch. Um, we'll see. We'll see how that goes, and I'm really interested in seeing Owen Wilson again. I love Owen Wilson, and he had a tough go uh, with life a few years ago, and I'm glad he's like out there working and getting his feet wet. And this really seems like a perfect part for him to bounce off of Tom Hiddleston. I think him and Tom Hiddleston are going to have great chemistry together on this show. I really, I like I said, a big Owen Wilson fan. I don't even mind his brother Luke Wilson so much. Old school. That was him, the main guy. Um, yeah, the Wilson brothers. But yeah, I really think that I love Tom Hiddleston's acting. He does well with Loki. You could tell he has a real fondness for Loki. He's even talked about how he's read up on some of his past stories to gain inspiration for the type of motivations that he has in life and his relationships with his brother and his father and his mother, and really being a frost giant too. On top of it, really, you know, affects him. So, there's a lot of depth to Loki that's still yet to be scratched. So I'm really interested in seeing how that goes. Um, that's going to air. I think that's going to start airing a week from this Friday after the Falcon and the Winter Soldier ends. For the season, like I said, there's no confirmation yet at the time of this recording for season two of either WandaVision or Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Uh, episode six snuck up on us, I think, and I think that might be a testament to how good the show has been. Um, Even with the extended time, the episodes go fairly quick. The last episode I thought was a bit not bad. Just I started noticing it was closer to an hour. I was like, oh wow, this was a long episode. But that was the first episode I noticed that. Like I said, my guy Tim has my episode 4 and 5 thoughts and reviews on that. So once he only gets like really 1 day a week to try to um, unwind and try to attempt to do these things for me. So whatever progress he can get on anything that I give him is a godsend because of the amount of time that he gets called into work and has to stay there. So shout out to you again, Tim. And as far as the finale is concerned, I've been watching it with my little guy, who's not so little anymore. He's uh, basically a teenager. Um, but we've been watching it the last 6 weeks, um, and he's excited about how this is going to end. I do think we're going to see who the power broker is in tomorrow's episode. I don't think there's going to be any connection really in this episode to Shang-Chi as far as like any Mandarin connection in Madripoor. At the moment, I think they're going to keep that separate. I think they're going to reference Madripoor as Shang-Chi, but I don't think they're going to really reference too much of the Ten Rings unless they show us the insignia of the Ten Rings on on something. But I do, like I said, I do think that we're going to get uh, the reveal of who the power broker is. I do believe we're going to see um, the final battle between John Walker the Flag Smashers and Bucky and Falcon. And I think that the major end battle, is going to be Falcon and John Walker fighting, basically, and Falcon's going to win, and John Walker's going to be arrested, sent to the raft, and be recruited by Val. And Zemo, I think, is going to be recruited by Val into a group called the Thunderbolts. And I think she's working for Thunderbolt Ross. Um, that's my thoughts on her. I think that she's going to be helping form the Thunderbolts team with Thunderbolt Ross. But I think that we're also going to see. I'm up in the air on whether we're going to see Carly. Uh, I see two scenarios happening. I see Falcon, Bucky, and Carly together, and everyone else is taken down or dead, and uh, they make her promise to keep her nose clean and they let her go. But I don't know. I'm leaning more towards her being captured and imprisoned. After the show, I think she's going to remain alive. I think that the actress who played her was has done a really great job with the character. There's a lot of scenes that had to be cut out of the series because of uh, not a direct link to the Cactus 99 scenario that's going on in the world at the moment, but in the MCU world, there was some sort of similar uh, uh, thing called, let's say, the Wendigo 12 or whatever, that took people out, and that's what they initially were trying to go for, vaccines and medicines and stuff like that, and they had to cut some of that out because the mentor of Carly was the actress was hired to have a bigger role. She was some bigger actress I'm unaware of at the moment, but she was meant to have a bigger role. She was meant to be like a mother figure to the Flat Smashers group, or at least to her, and that's what then set off her mission of you know really getting ruthless. But yeah, I think that's my initial thoughts on that. I think she's gonna get locked up near the end of the show. So is John, and I think Bucky and Falcon are gonna leave on a great note together. I like to see uh, Bucky finally make amends with my old guy from episode one. And then I think we're going to see Sam really start getting into the role of Captain America. And recently I thought about it after episode five, where everyone was like, with Sam's thoughts about feeling worthy. Does he deserve to be Captain America? Does he deserve to be Captain America? And now the question I want to ask after episode five is America worthy for Sam Wilson to be Captain America for them? Are we worthy of him stepping up to be Captain America? And uh, because that I can't answer this question by Isaiah Bradley. Isaiah Bradley's uh, statement about no self-respecting black man would be Captain America. Um, I can't. I mean, obviously, I can't answer for that. I did ask a friend of mine his thoughts on that. Given the situation, um, like of what happened to Isaiah Bradley, would he be Captain America? And do you agree with basically what Isaiah Bradley said? And he was like, "Yeah, I agree with what he said." Uh, is what I took out of the conversation. So, um, I you can't help but agree with Isaiah Bradley on that to that degree. Yeah, it's a valid point. I'm not saying it's a wrong point or right point, but it's definitely a good point to him. If I, as Isaiah Bradley as a black man telling another black man that story, uh, like it would be known, like, yeah, don't after today, don't talk about Captain America to me no more. Basically that's what it is. I don't care about Captain America. Fuck Captain America. That's Isaiah Bradley's. And after everything he's been through, you can't blame him for that. But at the same time, when you see Sam's nephews playing with the shield, and yes, they're not really um, versed in terms of the world yet, granted, but to see the hope of what that symbol can mean for somebody um, is what Sam is thinking. But that still doesn't mean that the nation is still worthy to have him as Captain America. And why does it have to be him? You know what I mean? Maybe that's what some people would ask themselves. Why me though? Why do I got to do it? And sometimes doing the right thing is hard. Sometimes doing the right thing is easy. You see a kitten on the floor about to get run over by a truck, you pick it up. You know what I mean? That's easy if you can get to the kitten. Anyway, but um, yeah, I Sam is going through something I cannot relate to on a personal level. So I'd like to hear what your comments are. If you yourself, as one of my viewers, was selected to be Captain America, would you be Captain America with all of this knowledge about the history of Captain America being known to you? Would you still be Captain America? It's a good question. This nation sometimes is a little wonky, to say the least. Before I get into the last topic I want to talk about, I want to just show you a couple of books I got in the mail this last week. And I'm not sure if I had this one last week or not. I'm just going to re-show it now. Um, the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man #2 that came out in 2005. It was part of the other storyline, Evolve or Die. Um, there it is. I haven't read it yet, but the cover intrigued me, and so I'm going to check that out. And finally, after weeks and weeks of waiting, this show used to mean so much to me as a child, and the actual franchise, the intellectual property I love, uh, the Muppet Babies. Okay, jeez Louise, any of you else watch the Muppet Babies? And then on the back, who remember who remembers Mad Balls from back in the day? Come on, I know. I remember I definitely had this guy, the mummy, and then I had this guy right here, the zombie looking guy. And I might have had this guy. Yeah, I did. That was the one I pointed out over here. No, who else was I thinking? I was thinking maybe the eye guy. I might have had the eye guy. But my two little stashes there. The last thing I want to talk about today is a couple days ago was 420, guys. It's totally 420, dudes. Roll this fatty, man. um, yeah, as I've uh, mentioned before in one of my previous videos were the 420 friendly channel, and I wanted to. I celebrated 420, even though I'm a lot of you may think it were like whatever with that. Like you may not be your bag, and that's fine. But you know, I still enjoy myself, so to speak. Some 420 friendly movies for when you're in the mood to celebrate 420 any day, and even in the middle of the summer and middle of Christmas, when the families are stressing you out at Thanksgiving, and you toke up a little bit at night, and you want to watch a movie. I'm going to give you some of my favorite stoner movies of all time, and some of them I may not even be remembering because I probably forgot I'm being so stoned. Oh, one of them is Pineapple Express with Seth Rogen and James Franco. Um, shit, what's his name? What's his name? Oh my god! I feel like for me, I can't. I remember the guy that gets fucked up throughout the whole movie. Oh my god! Danny McBride. Thank you, Danny McBride. I love Danny McBride in that movie. Pineapple Express. Definitely watched that. I had a friend one time call me up, and this was around the time the movie came out. That actually, uh, and I know it's not like he's the only one to do it, but he actually constructed the crucifix blunt that was shown in that movie, and you literally needed three lighters to light it up, and uh, that was a fun night. That was a fun night. It actually works. It actually works. You'd be surprised what a little ingenuity can get you. Also, Harold and Kumar go to White Castle, and the Harold and Kumar escape Guantanamo Bay. Um, I think are excellent movies to watch when you're getting stoned because everyone gets the munchies, and that's how this franchise started. They had the munchies for White Castle burgers, and they came across Neil Patrick Harris. They came across Ping in the Bush Menace. Um, so many things to happen to them on the way to White Castle, and then we see them in two sequels and like later in life and stuff like that. Super High, which is a documentary about a guy who literally smokes weed all day for 30 days, like the guy did with McDonald's, who ate McDonald's all day for 30 days to see uh, the difference. And then he did a month straight of no smoking weed. And they did tests and stuff like that. And some of the tests that he took actually were better scored when he was stoned than actually sober. So go figure. Um, Cheech and Chong movies. I mean, if you're not a stoner and you reference stoner movies, yeah, or talk about stoner movies or whatever like that, yeah, Cheech and Chong are going to be known even by those people. Uh, Great duo. So many classic scenes in so many movies. It started off their careers that they're still like out there now and stuff like that. Like all these decades later, we're still making entertainment. Uh, One of the more classic scenes is of them driving in the car and the hot box in the car with the big, like, like with the big ass joint. Like, come on, they would be so stuck. It would be ridiculous. Grandma's Boy um, came out. Oh man, that had to come out over 10 years ago at least. I know that. I feel like it's longer than that even. Grandma's Boy was a great stoner movie. I can still watch that today and laugh. Um, there's parts in that movie that are always going to be classic and quotable. And even if you're not a stoner, it's a good comedy movie. Ted, where the teddy bear comes to life with Mark Wahlberg. I thought that's a funny movie because he smokes pot and drinks beer and has sex with the teddy bear with like humans and stuff. So that's pretty entertaining. Only you can be stoned thinking of something like that. Friday, come on, Friday, and then Friday after next, and next Friday, the Friday franchise. You got a Saturday, Sunday afternoon to kill, and you can find yourself smoking yourself up and watching a movie. Watch one of those movies, one of the Friday movies. Half Baked, Dave Chappelle, um, John Stewart was in it, but he only was in there for like. You ever smoke weed? Oh, weed, man. Oh my god, that movie was so funny too. Dave Chappelle basically starts stealing medical marijuana from his job, and mayhem ensues from there. And of course, he happens to fall in love with a woman named Mary Jane who doesn't like marijuana. Oh no. Any Kevin Smith movie, I prefer the first Clerks. If you're unfamiliar with Kevin Smith, start with the first Clerks movie. It's his first movie, and you're going to get a real uh, fun movie experience, and you're going to know where the rest of his movies are going towards because it's all similar humor, similar setups. Uh, One of my favorite other movies by him is Tusk. You should check that out. But the last movie I want to talk about before I wrap up um, is a classic stoner movie that's laughed at and mocked today. But when it was made, it was meant as a government propaganda machine movie, and it was remade for modern times as a musical. At least once that I watched, and the goofiness. They really uptake the goofiness on it, but the reason why I like the original Reefer Madness movie and why it's so entertaining to watch as a comedy almost to this day was because it was legitimately used as a propaganda machine movie against marijuana. And the way they portrayed people on marijuana in that movie was so ridiculous. It was um, like reminded me of like crack fiends. That's how bad someone wanted to smoke. Like that's how they were showing how bad people want to smoke, and that they're jumping out of windows, and they become in such a haze that they kill people or rape people. And um, I will say that as far as and I said a word YouTube don't like on YouTube, but if you're just smoking marijuana, I've never seen anyone just smoking marijuana do those things. I've seen people who have done those things that have smoked pot in the night, but have also done other drugs and drink. But I've never met anyone just smoking pot only get violent on anybody, uh, want to attack anybody on any sort of level. Uh, the only thing they're a threat to is a chocolate cake. You know what I mean? Uh, that's the joke I make about myself. I'm not like when I smoke pot. I'm not the only thing I'm a threat to is the fucking pantry snacks. I mean, um, I won't agree with people say and that you can't be addicted to weed, and I'm not gonna say either way scientifically on it because I don't have the numbers on it. But I do feel like it can be a mental crutch for people. And I think that's where the addiction comes in. It's more of a mental addiction as opposed to um, like a physical addiction that the body actually craves. It's more the mind that's craving that escape. And, that's when moderation has to come in and, evaluate your life on things. But for the most part, I think that it has more benefits to life than not, and to each your own if you don't agree. You don't have to agree with me. And it's not the end of the world if you don't. You can do your own thing, and that's the great thing about life is that uh, I don't affect you personally every day unless you tune into my channel and look for negativity, then you're going to find negativity. But that's going to be anywhere you go in your life at that point because you're just looking for trouble. But my thoughts and ideas are just opinions and thoughts and ideas, and it's not facts. It doesn't shows or comics or movies aren't going to become automatically better because I'm thinking of ideas. Um, some of them may become great ideas, but it's not automatically. You know what I mean? Like so. Um, but yeah, I just figure that that's why I decide to do what I do. Not really feel too much about dictating what others should do. But with that said, guys, I think I'm gonna take off and stay tuned. We're gonna have plenty more to come. We're up 36 subscribers now. I'm still aiming for 75. So let's continue the road to 75, guys. And until next time, Schnookums.